And I'm going to try something a little different. Hopefully you won't see a whole lot of difference. But instead of shooting a video and then transferring it to my computer and doing all the normal editing I'm going to do, I'm just going to shoot it kind of one take kind of thing, edit it on the phone and upload it, see how it turns out. So we'll see by the end of it if my throat will hold out and I don't have to clear it 50 times to shoot a quick video, and just see how it works out. It's all part of the testing of all the changes that I'm trying to do, trying to be more efficient, still provides you with video kind of content, things like that, but do it in a more efficient way, just to, honestly, to help me out with some stuff. Anyway, I'm working on this this Sentinel, which is it's not an ATST walker. That would be copyright violation, Games Workshop. Anyway, I'm going to be working on this, and I've got to start assembling it here. I'm going to start building it today. Here's all the parts to it and everything like that. But it comes with two options. There is the Scout Sentinel, which is this one, which is an open cockpit. And then there is the Armored Sentinel, which is this one right here, which has an armored cockpit. Now that's the main difference between the two. Now I've been looking at it. There is an interior, and I like painting the interior, and I like painting the figures, and I like all of that. And there's also multiple weapons that go on here. Now I think I can magnetize all the weapons so that I can have the option of just putting any one of them on there I want, which, frankly, I think is going to be kind of cool, but two, it's going to enhance its saleability, because I probably will sell this particular model. But I was looking at the way that you build the two different versions, the Scout and the Armored Sentinels, and I noticed that pretty much you finish everything up, and there's a roll bar up here, and then the next step, the only additional thing you have to do is add in, let me flip this around, that's part of what I would edit out, but I'm going to just keep going. You just put these pieces in place, these armored pieces, and you just glue them here. And I noticed that in indicating where you glue, you don't actually need to glue it to the roll cage. And then there's this piece that goes on top, which doesn't glue to the roll cage either. So I started thinking, I wonder if I can just put this in place in pre-assembly, just touch some glue to it so that it glues, these parts glue together but not to the model, and then glue the top on to these three pieces of armor so that what you're left with is a little shell that you can just take on and off. Because if that's the case, that should work well enough that if somebody's playing the game, they can just set the shell on top, so they have the choice of using either the Scout Sentinel or the Armored Sentinel. Now, I don't know if there's a difference in the game of those, but I figure offering the option would be kind of cool. But then I also thought, well, if that doesn't quite work, if it doesn't hold on well enough, then there may be ways that I can magnetize these to go together. And I'm going to have to see during the pre-assembly whether I can actually magnetize those and get it to work. The trick will be finding a place to put the magnets that doesn't interfere with this roll bar cage here, and also doesn't make the magnets too obvious. So we'll see if that works. But I think it would be kind of cool to be able to have the Sentinel, so that you can build both. You could have both the unarmored and the Scout, or the armored and the Scout versions, and then swap off any of the main weapons over here that you want. There's also some stowage that goes over here on the side, and they give you like 3 or 4 options of stowage. I'm going to see if I can put a magnet on the inside of the model, and then put more magnets on the inside of the stowage, so that you can pop any of the stowage on. I don't know that it'll make a difference in the game, but somebody might like being able to just configure it however they want anytime that they're playing with it. So we'll see how that looks. My plan for this is to not do this green camo, but rather to just do, I want to do a desert camo that's kind of like if you've seen the British tanks many of the British tanks in World War II in North Africa that were a brown color, and then had variations. Some had kind of a pale blue, some had a blue-gray, some had almost a black on them, a dark brown. I'm going to do some kind of thing that's going to be influenced by those. I'm not going to copy it so much as I am going to do something that's, inspired by in terms of the camouflage. But I'm really looking forward to building this. I built one of these many years ago before I was doing video, and I had a lot of fun with the old version of it. So I'm really looking forward to this new version of it. One other thing I'm working on this week is I'm getting ready to paint some of the Shadow Vaults figures. This is one of the Kazarkin. I guess he's the Kazarkin sergeant that I'll be painting, and I've got him primed with Vallejo Panzer Gray spray, some of those Vallejo sprays, and then here's and I guess this is just going to be the name from now on that I have for any of these weird looking characters. This is Weird Harold and Necron version and his dog Tinker. So that's what I'm going to be calling them, and I'm probably going to make some 40K players mad, and that's not my intent. I just, come on. I calls them like I see them. That's Weird Harold. But I'll be painting them. But I still do airbrush priming a lot, but I am totally sold on those Vallejo sprays. They're not, it's weird, they're not marketed as marketed. How many EDs can you put on the end? Marketed. Anyway, they're not marketed as primer necessarily, but just paint. But because of their composition, I think they're enamels. They're not acrylic. They're durable enough. They work perfectly fine to be primers. They go on better than any of the other sprays that I've used, and I really like them. So I like this German Panzer Gray because it's got a dark color that gives you good shadows if you want that, but at the same time it's not so dark that you struggle to cover it up. I almost did this one. I was originally going to do this one in black and this one in kind of a light gray because of the later colors that I want to put on them, but I decided, you know what? I can do them both in this Panzer Gray, and it'll work fine for both of them. So these are going to be, this one's going to be kind of in the assembly stage, and then this is going to be in the painting stage. And then I'm actually going to be shooting a video this week to talk about that replacement for future. It's going to be just a real quick one, actually. Well, I'd say it's going to be quick. I don't know that I've ever done a quick video in my life, but I'm going to try to make it a quick video, so we'll see.